Hello everyone, welcome to the Realm of Comics, where we discuss everything graphic novels, manga, and comics. I am Ashley. Welcome if you're new, and welcome back if you've already been here before. I thought today I would wear my cut up Batman shirt, who as a character has grown on me in the past year or so, and I'm just as shocked as everyone else. I've never been a big Batman fan, but for some reason Batman has been growing on me just a tad bit. Okay, so as you can see from the title of this video, we're here to talk about my July reading plans. Is it already 6 days into July by the time this video goes up? Absolutely, but we have 31 days. So better late than never, correct? Right? I don't ever do anything on time, and I typically don't do a lot of TBRs because I have trouble sticking to them, but I feel like I'm a little bit more organized when it comes to my graphic novel, comic, and manga reading. Don't know why that is. I don't know. Maybe it's because it's a medium that I'm very, very passionate about. So honestly though, keeping it 100, with the month already starting, I've already completed 2 middle grade graphic novels. One, which I'm not going to talk about them in detail here because I always talk about this stuff in my weekly reading vlogs, which in June I completely did not do any for June because June was a hectic month for me. I didn't really upload to my other channel. I didn't upload to this channel because I needed to prioritize myself. We've already talked about it enough. But I did end up reading Lo and Behold by Wendy Mass, which I gave 4 stars to, and I ended up reading Parachute Kids by Betty C. Tang, and I gave that one 4.5 stars. So I've already read 2 middle grade graphic novels, and I decided to make my reading plans stick to graphic novels. For some reason, I am in a graphic novel mood. I am in for a middle grade and YA graphic novel mood. I don't know exactly where that came from, but we're here and it's okay, and I am enjoying it, and we're going to continue to enjoy it. So what I decided to do is, I know I just did a huge library haul, and one of my goals has been to chip away at what I've been doing with the library haul. A lot of the library haul was, you know, middle grade graphic novels, which I'm not upset about, and I've been chipping away at that stuff. But I also wanted to choose some stuff off of my own shelf that I have not read yet. I am in the middle of a book buying ban because life is difficult in this economy, and so a lot of my graphic novel and comic book and manga reading has been primarily from the library this year, which nothing wrong with that. But I do know that I had some stuff on my shelf that I had not read yet that I did want to get to. So we're going to go through and we'll talk about the stuff that I have for my library picks. I did 4 and 4, so I did 4 library picks, 4 picks from my own collection. Some of these I really want to get to because they have sequels coming out, or one has a sequel coming out, one has a sequel that I haven't read, and one of these is a sequel, and then a couple are ones that I've just been meaning to get to that I haven't gotten to. So, and some of these if you've watched that library haul, some of these you've already seen me talk about a little bit, so I won't delve into too much detail. But the first one of my library picks is Lost in Taiwan. This is by Mark Creeley, and I believe that Mark did both the writing and the artwork in this one. So this is about a young boy who is in Taiwan with his brother for a couple of weeks. He doesn't want to go. He's not interested in Taiwan, doesn't want to learn anything about the culture, the people, nothing. Absolutely nothing. And one day they go out and he ends up getting lost, and he ends up learning to, I think, appreciate everything a lot more than what he anticipated. In my book haul, I had talked about the fact that the artwork in this one reminded me very much so of like old school comic books, which I had not seen in a while, and I really, really enjoy artwork like that. And this is a fairly short one. It comes in at a little under 250 pages, but it's not text heavy, so which is completely different than some of the stuff that I've been reading. Like Parachutes by Betty C. Tang is, I think, also a little shy of 250 pages, but it is extremely text heavy, so it took a little bit longer to read. The next one that I have is a sequel, and that's Garlic and Witch. This is the sequel to Garlic and Vampire. I don't know if they're like, I think this is a direct sequel and not just simply a companion, but this one is It's the cutest thing in the world. It's a witch who basically enchanted these vegetables to help her with her gardening to sell the stuff at the market, but they end up kind of developing their own personalities, and so she allows them to kind of grow their own crops and work closely with her. And in the first one, we meet Garlic, who is supposed to check out the vampire that supposedly has moved into town, and of course everyone volunteers Garlic to do it because, you know, Garlic vampires, that whole shebang. So in this one, what ends up happening is that the witch needs to brew the vampire a blood substitute, so like a vegetarian blood substitute, and I think there's an ingredient or something where it can only be found at the magical market, which is kind of far away from where they live, and so Garlic is the one that is going to go on the journey. But this appears that Garlic is possibly turning human, so I'm really interested in this. I really liked the cozy atmospheric feel of this one by Brie Paulson. It was really enjoyable. I enjoyed the first one. Like I said, they're really quick reads, and I can't wait to dive into the second one. Another one that I talked about in my library book haul was Mish the Bad Demon. This is another middle grade graphic novel. I think this one is also a little bit on the, this one's close to 300 pages, but also not super text heavy, but it's about a 12-year-old demon by the name of Mish, who is not very demon-like. Loves princesses, fangirling, not really into, I guess, the more evil aspects of being a demon until her community is put at risk. She has to come to the realization that there's more to being a demon than what she anticipated. I love these contrasting images here where you have Mish kind of, you know, sweet, and then here we have this little bit more evil version of Mish. But either way, I'm excited to pick this one up. Kind of, if you're interested, I always try not to spoil anything, but I love for y'all to kind of see the artwork in it, and I like the artwork in this one as well. I think it's nice. So this next one is one that I'm really excited to read. I think this one is, let's see, this one's a little over 250 pages. And I haven't said anything about like who's done the artwork and stuff about these other ones, y'all. I apologize. Please forgive me. Michelle Lamb is the one who did Mish the Bad Demon. Both writer and illustrator. Same thing with Garlic and the Witch. Brie Paulson is both writer and illustrator on this one. And this one, Rebecca Burgess, is both writer and illustrator for the story. So this focuses on a young girl by the name of Mia, and Mia is autistic, and she communicates best through music. And so when she's at school, she primarily like wears her headphones to tune out the bullying, to just kind of avoid everything. And she wishes that she could use her voice to speak out and communicate through music the way she does with her best friend. And they work together and they create this viral pop star persona, and it's her singing, but of course she doesn't feel comfortable as herself, and so she gets the opportunity to perform live, and I would be completely nervous about that. And so it's kind of that journey of feeling comfortable in her own skin and maybe taking on the challenge of actually performing her music in public in front of a larger audience. I don't know why I have been anticipating this one so much. I haven't even really heard anything about it, but I think just the premise of it is what kind of drew me in, and then the artwork, like that cover artwork, really drew me in as a reader, and I was like, oh, I just really need to get my hands on that one. Okay, so that is it for my library picks. The next set are my picks off of my shelf, and we have, let's see here, 1 middle grade and 3 young adult graphic novels. So this next one is actually kind of thick. This one's close to almost 400 pages, and I also have the sequel. This one's based on a webtoon, and it is written by Miriam Bonestreet. I'm pretty sure I butchered their name. I know that I did completely butcher their name, but they are both the writer and creator on this one, and she is from Barcelona. Okay, wow, that I did not know. Okay, So it is Hooky, and I know that the sequel for Hooky comes out, the third book, because I have the sequel, Hooky Volume 2, which I think is even thicker. No, it actually isn't. I thought it feels thicker. Probably different printing of paper. But I have the second one. The third one comes out in September. So I thought that I would go ahead and start this so I don't fall too far behind. But this is about a set of twins that are supposed to go to magic school, but they miss their bus with some weird mishaps. And then they're declared traitors to their community. And so it's just this weird mishap of a situation, and they band with a troublemaker, a princess, and a teacher who are trying to help them clear their names. I think that the artwork in this one, I always feel like with this one, the cover doesn't really do it justice. I don't know why. I'm not a huge fan of the cover of this one because I feel like the artwork is better on the inside than what you see on the cover. I just don't think the cover design was the best decision, but this is a thickie. So this one will probably take me a little bit longer to read because it is thicker and it is text heavy, which is fine. It's perfectly fine. The next one doesn't really need an introduction. Everybody's read this one, but it's been a while since I read it, and I still have not read book 2, and that is Check Please by Ngozi Ukazu. I believe that she just got a deal with DC to write, and I can't remember who she's supposed to be writing. Y'all, my memory is absolute garbage at this point. So I've read this already. I've enjoyed it. I've been meaning to do a reread so that I can continue on with the series. Like I said, no explanation needed for Check Please. Everybody has read Check Please. I just have not read the second one, and so I need to go back and reread the first one because while I remember the basic aspects of it, the details escape me. They escape me. This next one is a Random House graphic novel, and it is queer. Well, Check Please is a queer one. Across, in this one, I'm about to say Across a Field of Starlight. This is also a queer one, but I believe that I'm just making sure. I always like to make sure. Text and illustrations both done by Blue Delaquanti. I always like to double check that stuff. I absolutely love this cover. Unlike Hooky, I love this cover. I think it's absolutely beautiful. So this gives me Romeo and Juliet vibes, but make it queer. Also kind of like Saga vibes, but make it queer. It is about these two individuals who are from different planets and different solar systems, and they keep finding themselves connecting. As in the description it says, they keep finding each other and they keep finding themselves in each other's orbit. Cute. I love the play on words there. But they can't seem to avoid each other, but issues kind of cause when one of their planets basically, I don't want to say takes charge, but they invade the other one's peaceful planet. And so that, of course, naturally would cause friction and tension between them, or cause their relationship to become more complicated. I don't know if it technically creates friction and tension, but I can only imagine that it would make their relationship more complicated. And so I think that it gives them the opportunity to meet in person, but of course now it's a dangerous situation, which is unfortunate. But I am looking forward to picking that one up. I believe I got a couple of these like at a random sale, something like that. And the last one that I have is another webtoon that they've published, and this is by, oh, Clarion did this imprint of HarperCollins. This is Crumbs by Danny Sterling, who did both artwork and text in this one. Also, very, very, very beautiful cover. Very gorgeous cover with artwork that is very, very unique in some ways, meaning that I feel like, oh, flashlights, y'all, my light bulb is going out. It's very, very unique in the way that I think the creator blurs some of their lines in the work, and then other times doesn't. And either way, doesn't really matter. I'll talk about that whenever I end up reviewing it. But this is about a young woman by the name of Ray, who has this bakery, and this bakery is a way to create sweet treats where it helps people's dreams come true. And so Ray comes into contact with Lori, who wants to, you know, make their music career grow. And of course, this is where Ray is really wants romance, and they find that with Lori, but then they start to see the future and it complicates things. It complicates their relationship, and she can't predict what the future is necessarily going to look like with Lori. I believe that this one also is queer. I know that a lot of people have enjoyed this one. People that I know that have read it have really enjoyed it. It is a thickie, almost at 400 pages, but I'm excited to read it. All right, y'all, so that is it. Those are the books that I plan to read in July. Am I just gonna read those? Absolutely not. There are going to be more books that I'm going to want to read. There's some manga that I definitely need to get through. There's some comics that I want to get through, but I'm kind of falling in line with my mood, and my mood right now is definitely graphic novels. Like I said, I'm not sure where that's coming from, why I feel more inclined to read graphic novels right now, but I just know that that's my energy. And so I'm going to keep up that energy and read some graphic novels. I do have some stuff that is currently checked out through Libby on my phone, and I am anticipating getting through some of those things. I have Hungry Ghost. I know that's a difficult one. That's a YA graphic novel that tackles eating disorders. And then I also have The Princess and the Grilled Cheese Sandwich checked out. I don't know anything about that one. I just thought it looked, you know, cool. And then I have Jurassic Jeff still checked out, which that's going to be a quick one for me to read. And then I also have Pokemon Adventures Volume 1, because I've never read Pokemon before. I've seen some of Pokemon, but I've actually never read Pokemon, which is, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I will update y'all through my weekly reading vlogs as I make it through this content. As always, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content from me, click the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications. If you're looking for ways to follow me on social media, all the links will be down in the description box below, and I'll be back with another video soon.